It was a crisp autumn morning in the small college town of Ashford, the kind of morning where golden leaves skittered across the sidewalks and breath misted in the air like tiny clouds. Ethan Cole, a 36-year-old single dad and former Army medic, sat in his dusty blue pickup truck outside the Ashford Community College campus. His daughter, Emily, was only 8, but she had an art class here every Saturday for gifted kids. Ethan always waited nearby, nursing his thermos of black coffee, scrolling through job listings, and trying to keep his mind from drifting to the past, both the battlefields overseas and the quieter, lonelier war of raising a child alone. Life hadn't been easy since his wife passed from cancer 2 years ago. The military had taught him discipline and resilience, but nothing prepared him for bedtime tears, school projects at midnight, or the gnawing fear of not doing enough for his little girl. Still, he showed up every day, because that's what soldiers, and fathers, do. That morning, as Emily disappeared into the art building, Ethan noticed a commotion across the campus green. A small crowd of students had gathered near the benches, phones half-raised, some laughing, some whispering. In the center, a tall, broad-shouldered college kid loomed over a petite young woman. She clutched a laptop bag against her chest like it was a shield. Ethan didn't know her name, didn't know her story, but he recognized fear when he saw it. The boy was sneering, his voice loud enough to carry. "What's the matter, princess? Can't handle someone telling you the truth? Or are you gonna run to daddy about this too?" The girl's lips trembled, but she didn't back away. She stood her ground even as his hand shot out, snatching the strap of her bag. That was all it took. Ethan was moving before he could think, his boots crunching the frosty grass. He didn't run, he didn't need to. Years of military service had taught him that a calm, deliberate approach could be more intimidating than a shout. He stepped between them, his voice even but sharp. "Let go of her bag. Now." The bully laughed. "Who are you, her bodyguard?" Ethan's eyes locked on his. "Doesn't matter who I am. You're done here." The boy hesitated, then shoved the bag back into the girl's arms. "Whatever, man. She's not worth it." He stalked off, muttering under his breath. Ethan turned to the girl. She looked about 20, with dark hair pulled into a loose ponytail, and eyes that were bright but brimming with unshed tears. "Are you okay?" he asked gently. She nodded quickly, though her hands shook. "Yes. Thank you. I didn't know what to do." "You don't have to thank me," he said. "Just be careful who you confront. Some people don't fight fair." She gave a small, grateful smile. "I'm Lily. And you are?" "Ethan." He glanced back toward the art building. "My daughter's in class here. Just happened to be in the right place at the right time." But Lily's eyes lingered on him a moment longer, as if she was studying not just his face, but the way he carried himself, straight-backed, steady, protective. Over the next few weeks, Ethan forgot about the encounter. He was too busy juggling freelance handyman work, helping Emily with her science fair project, and trying to keep the bills paid. But one afternoon, as he picked Emily up from art class, Lily appeared again, this time in a crisp navy blazer, her hair neatly styled. "Ethan," she called, hurrying toward him. "I've been looking for you." He raised an eyebrow. "Everything okay?" She nodded, smiling. "More than okay. I never properly thanked you. That day you stepped in, it meant more than you know." He waved it off. "Anyone would have done the same." "Not anyone," she said softly. Then, after a pause, she added, "I want to tell you something, but I need you to promise you won't treat me differently." "Can't promise that until I know what it is," he said with a faint grin. She took a breath. "My father is Richard Hanford, CEO of Hanford Global." Ethan blinked. Hanford Global wasn't just any company, it was one of the biggest tech firms in the country. "And the guy who?" He trailed off. She nodded. "He was angry because I refused to give him answers to an ethics paper. He thought if he intimidated me, I'd fold. My dad found out later. But you didn't know who I was, and you still stepped in. That's rare. Ethan shifted uncomfortably. I just saw someone who needed help. That's all. Lily smiled again, but this time it carried something more, admiration, maybe even respect. Sometimes, the simplest, that's all, changes everything. 2 weeks later, Ethan got a call from a number he didn't recognize. Mr. Cole, a deep voice said. This is Richard Hanford. I'd like to meet with you. Ethan almost said he was busy, but curiosity got the better of him. They met at a quiet coffee shop downtown. Richard was a tall man with salt and pepper hair, his handshake firm, his eyes sharp but kind. My daughter told me what happened, Richard said. You didn't just stop a bully, you protected her without hesitation. That's the kind of man I want in my company. Ethan chuckled. I'm not sure corporate boardrooms are my battlefield. Richard leaned forward. I'm not talking about a desk job. I run a community outreach branch, projects that help veterans, single parents, and underprivileged kids. I need someone who understands struggle, someone who leads with integrity. Lily says that's you. Ethan felt something tighten in his chest. Mr. Hanford, Call me Richard, the man said, smiling. And think about it. I believe in paying good people to do good work. Full salary, benefits, stability. You've carried enough weight on your own. Let us carry some with you. 3 months later, Ethan stood in a renovated community center in the heart of Ashford, Emily perched on his shoulders as kids laughed and played all around them. He was now the director of veteran and family programs for Hanford Global's outreach division, building programs that gave struggling families the very thing he once lacked, hope. Lily passed by, handing out snacks to a group of kids, and caught his eye. They shared a smile, one of those quiet moments where no words were needed. Ethan had stepped in that day for no reason other than it was the right thing to do. He hadn't known who she was. He hadn't expected anything in return. But sometimes life rewards acts of kindness in ways you can't foresee. And as Emily laughed above him, Ethan thought of something his old army captain once said. The battles you choose may change the world, but the ones you don't choose, the ones that choose you, they change you. Sometimes, the smallest decision to stand up for someone, without knowing their status, their wealth, or their story, can open doors we never dreamed existed. Courage and kindness have a way of coming back to us, often when we least expect it.